Let's bring in Bruce LeVell, Executive Director of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. Bruce, big welcome to you. I want to begin first with this fallout surrounding the Trump campaign meeting in June of last year. Here's how Republican Congressman Bill Flores is suggesting the president respond to what he's calling distractions from his agenda. Here it is.
I think it would be in the president's best interest if he removed all of his children from the White House, not only Donald Trump, but Ivanka and Jared Kushner. And so I wish that he would get them out of the way so that we could have the professional staff at the White House handle policy issues.
Do you agree?
No, I disagree. And thanks for having me, Alex. Happy Sunday here in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I think it's healthy to have a president to have his family support structure around him, you know, in terms, you know, morally, et cetera. And I don't see any conflict of interest whatsoever. And I think it's an unfair statement, you know, to chastise the president's children. And, you know, another thing, too, you know, what happened to a time where, you know, that we as Americans and even parts of some media didn't attack the president's children? You know, there has to be some level of restoring that etiquette of not coming after children. I think it's just totally uncalled for.
But it's a little bit different, Bruce, because first of all, these guys are actors in the campaign. They are working. They have all sorts of clearances. They're officially working for the government as advisors, you know, to their father. I mean, I've got children. I talk with them all the time about things. Right. You don't see them on the sets with me, but they certainly have influence. But we do it at home.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. There's still a family. A family's a family no matter what happens, whether you're CEO or President of the United States. But I'm getting back to the point of Donald Trump Jr., the attacks that's coming on him that's unfairly. He doesn't work for the campaign. I haven't even seen him in the White House, and no one has since the president took the office. And to come after him and accuse him and to chastise the president's children, that is uncalled for and totally unfair. Totally.
All right, well, let's get now to the nightly news report, part of it at least, that's breaking down the exchange that led to the meeting. Here's that.
On June 3rd, 2016, a trusted associate emails Trump Jr. that one of Donald Trump's former business partners had been contacted by a senior Russian government official and was offering the Trump campaign information that would incriminate Hillary Clinton and her dealings with Russia and would be very useful to your father, adding this is obviously very high-level and sensitive information, but is part of Russia and its government's support for Mr. Trump. Minutes later, Trump Jr.'s reply, "If it's what you say, I love it."
So look, there aren't too many ways in which these emails can be interpreted. Nobody's going after Donald Trump randomly here. I mean, he's interjected himself into these exchanges. So is it plausible that he really didn't understand what that offer should have been and that it was somewhat suspect?
Well, first of all, I've been in the tower, Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue many, many times, and I'm sure I've met a lot of your colleagues there, you know, with MSNBC, and I will tell you that it is like a revolving door. And here's the interesting point, too, Alex. You know, first of all, I don't trust anything the Russians have to say. What they said to Donald Trump Jr., I'm sure they said to the Clinton campaign. They play both sides of the aisle. That is how it goes. It's not uncommon also to have, you know, occupational research to find out, hey, what's going on? It happens in smaller city council races, congressional races. Hey, I got something on this person. Hey, you want to hear them out. But in all defense, to have a meeting where you walk right through downtown Fifth Avenue, walk through the elevator, and you guys watch the elevators because you put cameras in front of the elevators all during the campaign, and you camp out in front of the elevators so you could see who's coming and going. Why, if there was anything that had an appearance of impropriety or something that was detrimental to the United States, would he call a meeting in broad daylight, walk through the foyer, up through the escalator, in front of all the cameras, if they were trying to hide something? It's ludicrous.
Well, look, to your point, Bruce, I mean, there's
totally
so many
unfair.
people. It's a revolving door, absolutely. So, I mean, there's a lot of people to keep track of. But with regard to, I want to get to some numbers here and show you and see what people are thinking with this ABC News Washington Post poll. It's found that just 38% of those polled believe the president is making any significant progress on his agenda. I mean, you've got to wonder how much this is influencing that or keeping him from doing that. 55% say he is not. So overall, where things stand, are you satisfied?
Oh, I'm totally. 800,000+ jobs since he took the oath. Look what Secretary Price and AG Sessions came up with a few days ago. They found $1 billion worth of fraud in our healthcare system. Look at our trade. We are actually exporting beef to China since 2003. And here's something that really is dear to my heart. Black teens from 16 to 19 years old, the lowest unemployment since 2000. It's incredible. I'm excited about it, and I hope America can get on board and stop buying into this delusion of these, quote, Russian conspiracies. The Russians are coming. And let's get on board and get going with this president and this administration. I mean, my God, look in France. Look at the camaraderie he had with the French president, the Chinese government, all the things that are taking place. The ceasefiring in Syria, for God's sake, all the people that they saved lives, the negotiating those ceasefires. That's a tremendous amount of stride the president's doing. 178 days, there has no president in the history of the United States been this successful than President Donald J. Trump.
Well,
no one.
There's only one new major piece of legislation that's been passed. That's the Veteran Affairs Bill. Bruce, he said one of the first things he would do would be to repeal and replace Obamacare.
And we're trying. And Alex, with all due respect, unfortunately, a lot of our congressmen and women on both sides of the aisle are still involved with pay-to-play, backdoor deals, and lobbyists. That is essentially as part of the swamp. The president, I remember during the campaign, he really wanted to do something with Obamacare. Case in point, I'm a small business owner. 20% of my premiums went up this year, 40% since Obamacare came into effect. I'm one of millions of business owners across the country. We're dying from this. The president says, you know what? As soon as I take the oath, I'm going to get out there, get this done. I'm not going to kick this can down the road. He wanted to get some action going. You saw what happened when they start meddling with it. This plan on the table is a much, much better plan that will help the American people as well as small businesses like myself.
Well,
it's way better than the old dog chow.
I'll tell you, Bruce, I hope that Senate Republicans are listening to you if you want to see this pass, because as you know, they're a lot on the fence, and it's a pretty precarious
to do the right
now.
thing. And if they don't do the right thing, I hope they get challengers all across the nation, because I'm sick and tired of this.
Bruce, thanks so much. I have to do the right thing. Unfortunately, cut this off, or my executive producer is going to have an absolute fit. We're out of time. Thank you, though.
All right.
The meeting in the law up next. One of the nation's most prominent